For the mining industry, my previous job was actually as a supply officer for an explosive suppliers company. I had left my last job to be a mum, and I became a single mum for 3.5 years. Yeah, it was my first foot in the door back into the workforce. I'm currently a sentry supervisor up at Carrara. The flexibility is perfect for me. It gives me the flexibility to work around my family and also enables me to provide for my family as a single mum.
Before I became a sentry worker, I worked at a training centre. When that company closed down, I decided to stay at home for a bit, but that really wasn't me. And then I became a FIFO wife, where my husband works in Perth and I'm working on the mine site. So I did the courses, I did the confined space, I've done a working at heights, and I've done the gas testing. And then I applied for the job through SMS and got the job.
You know, I think there's a lot of women out there who'd like to get into sentry services, but it hasn't really been identified as a training package that can be targeted specifically for sentry services and women in mining. And upskilling them or skilling them with the sentry services allows us to continue to allow women to come into the mining. Other than the areas where, you know, obviously there's an amount of professional women in mining, there's an amount of clerical women in mining, there's services provisions for women in mining. But this is an area where we can get them involved in the actual the rocks and the dust of it all, being in the area of the operations.
On site it's fun, I enjoy it. I actually really enjoy working out there on site. I enjoy the different types of people we have out there.
We have a great rapport with all the crews and contractors on site. We have a family environment up there. Everyone takes care of one another.
If new girls come up to site, new sentries are on site, we actually take them out with us. We help them, we train them. We never send anyone out on their own when they first come up there as a sentry worker. They are always buddied up with someone. We improve the safety of sentry workers for the job that we do, looking after the guys on site. I think as a sentry worker, what I'm doing on site is a great success. And I think it should be extended onto other mines around Australia.
We know that a lot of the mining companies are targeting 50-50 gender mix, and they're targeting them, you know, in a short period of time. We see this job as one of those that can help mine companies reach those targets, but not in a silly way, because these are practical jobs. This is a safety job that has to be done. And on some occasions, some people will be observers in confined space management that may be their foreman or their engineers or whatever. We're saying we put a sentry service in there, they're properly trained and they do the job, and it makes their mines safer. Everyone comes home.
I just think it's great that SMS have started this package for women to do sentry services for all the mine sites. I think it's exciting for women who want to do some work, who want to do a little bit of work or a lot of work. It's up to them. And it's great to have a lot of women out there, either single mums or married women like myself, that can do FIFO work.
There is a real particular push from our perspective that we think a lot more women can come into mining through this sentry service training package. And everyone's keen on this. Everyone sees this as a real game changer for safety, a real game changer for women coming into mining, the entry level that is accessible. The fact that it'll promote safety, it'll make our mines safer.